I stood barefoot on white Maldivian tiles, watching the water glow in the evening light. Her suitcase was next to me. She wasn't. She took the first flight home, without staying even one night, because I refused to borrow money from my parents. My name is Andre, I'm 34. I grew up in a family that invested everything in my education, school, university, a PhD abroad. I always dreamed that one day I'd give back, not ask for a single cent. I wanted to say, enough. It's my turn to support you now. I met Dasha at a conference. She's 34 too. Smart, beautiful, decisive. Very different starting point, no financial cushion from her parents. She got into a good master's program, took out a student loan, worked side jobs to cover interest in dorm living. What drew me in wasn't money. It was her character, no whining, just doing. We clicked fast. I had promised myself I would save for a wedding and an apartment first. But with Dasha, I didn't want to delay life. I proposed, we started planning. She laughed and said, "I've always wanted a family. 2 working adults with a plan. We'll make it." The first real hit came out of nowhere. A rainy evening, a cafe window. "I'm not living in a rental," Dasha said calmly. "Only our own place." I explained, "I'll save, take a mortgage, we'll manage." Her logic made sense in its own way. Rent is money down the drain. True. But there's a difference between right now and doing it right. I didn't want to go back to my parents with an open hand. They already paid for all my education. We argued hard. Took a break for a few days. Then her mother called me, soft voice, apologies, stories about instability, the fear of living out of a suitcase. I believed her. Not in the money, in the fear you can calm by holding it, not feeding it. We made up. The wedding was beautiful, without show. My parents gave Dasha serious jewelry. I didn't see it as "we're buying you into the family," but as "we believe in your union." That night we packed for our honeymoon, the Maldives, yes, an expensive resort. My dream of "let's have one perfect fairy tale." I thought the hardest part was behind us. We got on the plane. She leaned on my shoulder, slept half an hour. Then, like cold water. "Let's do this," she said. "We rent for a couple of years, then we ask your parents for money to buy. Instead of a bank, they get the interest." "No," I said. "I'm sorry. I already owe them too much. I'll buy the apartment myself. Mortgage, schedule, work, I'll handle it. We'll just need to wait." "Why not?" "It's not hard for them," she said. "Everyone does it." "Others aren't us," I answered. "I don't want to turn my parents into a bank. I want us to build our home together." She went silent. No more words until landing. The Maldives welcomed us like a movie, warm, salty air, wooden walkways over blue water, a villa that smelled of wood and ocean. Our open suitcases turned into a painful quiet. In the evening, I stepped onto the terrace, placed the safe key on the table. "Everything's there, documents, cash." "Dinner?" She nodded and started packing her suitcase. "I'm flying home," she said evenly. "You're not hearing me. I won't go back to renting. We didn't legally register the marriage, so we can just part ways. Whatever we bought together for the new place, split it in half and mail it. Don't meet me. It's decided." What did we decide? My voice cracked. That I must ask my parents? That my "I want to do it myself" means nothing? She took the handle. "I've said everything, Andre." I stayed on the veranda, listening to the ocean that suddenly felt deaf. Maybe I had been deaf the whole time. Maybe our own place wasn't about square meters, maybe it was about safety she never had. But where's the line between a real need for safety and a demand that someone else pay for your peace? I came back alone. To our rental, already filled with new things. Empty glasses, shopping lists, a ribbon from a gift box, like props for a life that never opened. A week later she didn't call me, she called a lawyer. Split the purchases in half. The gifts, I'm keeping. The wedding costs, your idea. And so on. For the first time in my life I asked a lawyer not about work contracts, but how much a broken intention costs. The lawyer spoke dryly. Legally, you two aren't registered. But if we prove there was an agreement and she broke it, you can recover part of the expenses, honeymoon, deposits, some specific items, depending on evidence. The rest is weak. Prepare for time and stress. I paced for 2 days. In my head, her childhood, loans, dorm, and my parents carrying my backpacks while I chased my dreams. I replayed moments when I could have said, okay, rent is temporary. Here's a 2-year plan, with numbers. I did say it, but maybe I spoke in the language of principles, not her fears. Then I remembered one line on the plane. The word I skipped. You can. You just don't want to, she said, looking me in the eye. That wasn't let's do it together. That was you owe me because you can. For the first time I heard a voice inside, no. Friends said, Sue. Get your money back. It's fair. Others asked, why step into that swamp? You saw who she is. Pay for the lesson and move on. I waited for a long time. Then I went to my parents. We sat in the kitchen. Mom turned a porcelain cup in her hands. Dad was silent. I'm ashamed, I said at last. Ashamed because I gave you a celebration and I asked for trust, not money. And now I'm standing here talking about receipts. Dad smiled sadly. You owe us nothing, son. But you owe yourself the truth. You wanted to build, not borrow. That's not pride. That's adulthood. I didn't meet Dasha again. She got her half of the shared purchases. She also got a letter from my lawyer. I didn't ask for the gifts back, they were hers the moment we placed them in her hands. I asked only for what I bought expecting our life together, part of the trip, the deposits, specific sums. Not revenge, balance. Her reply was even shorter than that night, do what you want. A month later I rented another place, smaller, simpler, with a crooked wooden windowsill. I brought a kettle, an old blanket, and one photograph, not from the wedding. From the Maldives. I'm standing alone on a walkway, and for the first time I'm not ashamed of the quiet. I still wonder if I could have done something differently. Probably. I could have sat down and made a real 2-year joint plan, not speeches, a spreadsheet. Income, expenses, target date for the mortgage. I could have spoken to her fear directly, I get why you hate renting. Let's make it manageable. I could have. But there's a line where compromise turns into surrender. When someone tells you, you must, because you can, that isn't partnership. Partnership is weakened even when every part of you wants to say, do it for me. I don't know if we'll cross paths someday at another conference or a rainy cafe. I know this, next time I'll talk not only about weddings, dreams, and travel. I'll talk about budgets, timelines, plans, loans, and boundaries. Pretty words stand on cold numbers, the way good ships stand on hidden keels. Sometimes the greatest gift isn't a bag or a ring. Not even the Maldives. Sometimes the greatest gift is a timely no. Because it isn't about refusing someone else. It's about finally agreeing with yourself.